Okay, this first dish I'm going to do is meat and potatoes. It's not about vegetables. You can have meat on the anti-inflammatory diet. You just got to be careful what meat you can have. Saturated fats are highly inflammatory. But I cook with ground bison. It's grass-fed, it's organic. You just can't have grain, and you can't have any animal that's fed grain. What we're going to do is grate carrot and onion into the mince, and what happens when you grate this in, it caramelizes and you get this vegetable meat sauce. Add a little tomato puree, splash of wine, some stock, some garlic, a bunch of herbs, and some Worcester sauce and oil, and you make a delicious mince that is also vegetable induced. Very lean, melts in your mouth. And then on top of this dish, it's a shepherd's pie. Shepherd's pie comes in lamb because of shepherds, so this is more of a cottage pie. And over here I have the topping, which is going to be a mashed potato, a couple of egg yolks. You want to use omega-3 enriched eggs. They feed the chicken omega-3. You want as many omega-3 sources as possible. A little butter, a little bit of cheese, tiny bit of dairy is okay. It's nice to have a layer of parmesan, a little cream just for substance, salt and pepper. Right, we're going to prepare this and throw it in the oven. Alright, so wash the vegetables. You need 2 egg yolks for the potato. Crack the egg. Throw away the white. Cut the potatoes into 4s. We're going to steam these. Steaming. It's hotter than boiling, and it retains the goodness in the potato. Okay. Right, I'm going to chop this garlic. Use a whole bowl. This is a nice organic garlic. You got to use organic foods for one reason. It tastes better. And if you're going to do this diet, you want it to taste as good as you can, because it's a lot of effort to evolve your entire day around cooking. You have to cook to do the diet. Now I use a press method where I just press down on the stub and it takes the skin off quickly. You can put it in a pan and put the lid on a pan and just rattle it around and the skin falls off. But for a small amount like this, this is the quickest way. And then I'll chop this finely. And there's your garlic. Thyme, rosemary, I'm going to use a lot. Put a lot of herbs in your food. Really, it brings a lot to the flavor, but it brings a lot to vitality to your life. Sage can be chopped, and then the rosemary just pull off. It all cooks. It all gets ingested. Don't waste too much time preparing herbs. That's the rosemary, that's the thyme, that's the sage. So, grating Parmesan cheese. It's going to be a little in the potato and a little sprinkled on top. And it's a 90-10 rule. A little dairy is okay. You gotta have what you like. Alright, I use a steamer for potatoes. Steaming just has more flavor. It's hotter than boiling. So it cooks quicker and retains the minerals better. Good steel pan, put some olive oil. Olive oil and canola oil are the only 2 oils that you can cook with. Yep, they contain fat, but they're high in omega-3. You can still have an organic olive oil heart attack. You should minimize your oils at all times. It still sticks to your heart, but of all the oils, only canola or olive oil are high in omega-3, and you need a little oil to cook. It's low fat. The second thing is it's not grain fed. And grain is inflammatory, so any animal that eats grain is inflammatory. I'm adding the herbs and the garlic. I'm just going to stir that in for a minute or 2. And then the next part's good. This is key. Is you grate your onion and the fine one. There we go. So there you go. You grate this onion right into that mince, and you're going to get a vegetable and meat dish. And I'll finish that in a second, but just do the carrot to show you. And in goes the carrot. So it's 2 large carrots, 2 onions. And cut You can see there's a lot of vegetable here, and that's what we're looking for now. It's grated in. You want to stir it in for a few minutes and let it cook, and let it caramelize. And then after this, I'll be adding tomato and Worcester sauce. There we go. Alright, so this has been cooking 2 minutes. Worcester sauce, a few splashes. I don't have Worcester sauce, so I'm just improvising with a little vinegar and a little soy. Only a little tomato paste. It's just puree. It's just a paste, but not too much. Quarter of a can. A small can is perfect. I'll go over chicken stock later. This is not stock from an organic chicken, so I'm just going to throw a little of that in there. Few splashes of red wine, and I'm going to let this sweat down now. Turn this up, and this is the final of our sauce now. Turn the heat up, let it bubble, let it sweat up. By that time our potatoes are ready. Oh, pepper for season. You don't need much salt, but a little always helps. Potatoes should now be clear and done, and you can see that as they fall apart. So now just finish this off. I'm going to switch the oven on to 350. Layer our mince bottom of our pie to our pan. This is the piece that melts in your mouth. And then here's that mash prepared. Whatever this on. Alright, here it is. Out the oven. Doesn't that look good? Bon appetit. No moisture. Perfect. Happy eating.